The Shrek franchise is known for being a series of animated movies that can be enjoyed by people of all ages, and for its massive presence in meme culture. However, there are many secrets of the series that many people are not aware of. In this video, we'll be exploring the depths of the Shrek Iceberg. Part 1. The Tip. The Fate of Mama Bear. Mama Bear appears in the original Shrek movie and is seen in this scene in a cage with the rest of the fairy tale creatures. However, when the fairy tale creatures are moved to Shrek's swamp, Mama Bear is nowhere to be seen. Later on, this rug is seen in Lord Farquaad's room, indicating that she was killed and turned into a rug. What the dragon became when Donkey drank the potion in Shrek 2. In Shrek 2, Shrek and Donkey drink a potion that makes them become beautiful. The potion also affects Shrek's true love, Fiona, so it should have affected Donkey's counterpart as well. The dragon may have become this, but there's no way to know for sure. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. This refers to a story that circulated around the internet around 2013, which described Shrek sodomizing a 9-year-old boy. The story inspired an unnerving animation, along with a dramatic reading of the original text, which I will not include in this video. Swamp Simulator. Swamp Simulator is a Slenderman-esque horror game where you are chased by Shrek in his swamp while trying to collect onions. It is possible that this game is canon in the Shrek universe, as Shrek is known to be very territorial when it comes to his swamp. Part 2. The Surface. Donkey comes from the story of Pinocchio. In the original Pinocchio story, naughty boys are sent to Pleasure Island where they are transformed into donkeys. This theory suggests that Donkey from Shrek actually used to be one of these boys and that he somehow escaped. Rumpelstiltskin from Shrek 4 is different from Shrek 3. I don't really understand this theory. In Shrek 3, there's a character called Frumpy Pigskin who lies to Prince Charming and tells him he is Rumpelstiltskin, but in Shrek 4, we can clearly see that the real Rumpelstiltskin looks much different from this character. Lord Farquaad is the son of one of the 7 dwarves. If this is true, this could explain why Lord Farquaad is so short in the movie. In the Shrek musical, the princess from the story, The Princess and the Pea, married Grumpy, who is one of the 7 dwarves, and gave birth to Lord Farquaad. Prince Charming created by Fairy Godmother. Prince Charming is never shown to have a father, so it's possible that Fairy Godmother created him as a plot to take power for herself. This is supported by the fact that, in Shrek 2, Fairy Godmother is shown to have a potion factory which could probably be used to create a person. If this is true, then perhaps Fairy Godmother was actually controlling Prince Charming's actions the entire time. Part 3. Below the Surface. Shrek was to be played by Chris Farley. Originally, DreamWorks intended for Shrek to be voiced by Chris Farley, and he even recorded most of his lines for the character, but he died before filming was completed. The Shrek we know today is voiced by Mike Myers instead. Fiona is the daughter of Fairy Godmother. If this is true, it is really weird that Prince Charming wanted to marry Fiona, unless the previous theory about Prince Charming being genetically engineered by Fairy Godmother is true. If this is the case, it is likely that Fiona was also created by Fairy Godmother in a similar way. All of the plot holes. Shrek 2 is censored in the UK. In the original version of Shrek 2, Donkey's testicles were allegedly visible for a few frames. This turned out to be a misconception, but this information didn't reach the UK until it was too late. In the British version of the film, they ended up swapping Donkey for a 3D model of Kirby. The Fairy Godmother is in Shrek 1. The Fairy Godmother can be seen in the introduction to the first Shrek movie if you follow these steps exactly. Step 1. Take a picture of the outhouse exactly 3 frames before Shrek opens the door. Step 2. Look up Fairy Godmother Shrek on Bing and download the 4th picture that comes up. Step 3. Open up a photo editing software and put the picture of the Fairy Godmother onto your original picture. If you follow these steps correctly, you should now have uncovered the secret Shrek Fairy Godmother Easter egg. Dama Fortuna. This was a scrap concept that had Bib Fortuna from Star Wars' brother Dama appear in Shrek. Lucasfilm ended up backing out of the crossover deal, so Dama Fortuna never appeared in Shrek. Part 4. Going Deeper. Original Shrek book. Shrek is actually based off a really obscure children's book by the same name. I have no idea how anyone at DreamWorks found this book and decided to make an entire movie based on it, but I'm glad they did. Obscure merchandise. There's a lot of obscure Shrek merchandise and products, including but not limited to Shrek Twinkies, Shrek Operation, Shrek Chess, and the Mint Ogre Load McFlurry. Yes, they really called it that. Why Puss in Boots became a sidekick. In Shrek 2, Puss in Boots is sent to kill Shrek by the king, but fails, and then instantly becomes Shrek's sidekick. This was really weird, since Puss in Boots was portrayed as some sort of master assassin up to this point, so it seems strange that he was so easily beaten by Shrek, and that he, for some reason, stays as his sidekick even though he could have easily left at multiple points. This theory suggests that Shrek actually kept Puss in Boots on catnip to keep him dependent on him. This would explain why Puss in Boots lost to Shrek as well, since the catnip would have distracted him. The Gospel of Shrek. This refers to a secret underground cult that worships Shrek and is suspected to be responsible for the destabilization of multiple governments around the world. Their motto is Shrek is love, Shrek is life. Layerless ogres. This concept is extremely unnerving if it is real. Shrek explicitly states in the first movies that ogres have layers, meaning that Shrek has never encountered these layerless ogres. The existence of something that not even Shrek is aware of should be cause for concern. These hypothetical, layerless ogres, if real, should be considered a huge threat to the well-being of people around the globe. Duloc being abandoned. After the events of the first Shrek movie, Duloc is never shown again in the Shrek movies, indicating that it was abandoned after Lord Farquaad's death. This is confirmed in Scared Shrekless, where they revisit Duloc and reveal that no one lives there anymore. The Holy Ogre Lord. This is another name for Shrek in the Gospel of Shrek religion. Shrek 5 script. As of today, Shrek 5 is not planned to come out in the near future. However, Illumination is for some reason trying to create a reboot of the Shrek series. If this ever happens, it is doubtful that the new movies will live up to the expectations of a true Shrek film. Part 5. Nearing the bottom. Donkey is transgender, or was a man before, but the fairy godmother made him a woman. Donkey is clearly a male character in the movies. He is voiced by a male actor and dates a female dragon, who he has children with. This makes it unlikely that Donkey is transgender, although he could have been the result of a failed experiment by fairy godmother when she was trying to create Prince Charming. Mama Bear is still alive. In the Shrek karaoke dance party video, we can see that Mama Bear is with her son and husband, indicating that she is in fact alive, despite Lord Farquaad's rug. Shrek made up his name when he met Donkey. In Shrek 1, when Donkey asks Shrek what his name is, he hesitates before he says Shrek.
Shrek?
It is possible that no one had really ever spoken with Shrek before, but if this is the case, it is unknown how Shrek even knows how to speak in the first place. Prince Charming is still alive. When this tower falls on Prince Charming at the end of Shrek 3, we can see that the window aligns with him, meaning he may not have been crushed and instead went inside the tower. Further proof of this can be found in this random short, where he can be seen in the background of the audience here. Part 6. The Bottom. I Feel Good animation test from 1996. This refers to an unnerving test animation of the original Shrek, voiced by Chris Farley. Although all that remains of this animation today are screenshots, just knowing it exists is enough to make most people unable to sleep at night. The Director's Cut. The Director's Cut of Shrek was originally included in the DVD copy, but was quickly recalled after it was discovered that the Director's Cut was found to cause children to develop post-traumatic stress disorder. It is unknown if anyone still has a copy of the original DVD release of Shrek, so the Director's Cut may never be recovered. Shrek 5 release date. As I said before, Shrek 5 is not in development as far as I know, but there is a reboot planned with an unknown release date by Illumination. This will probably be released after the pandemic ends, as Illumination would not risk releasing a movie now if it would make less money. Part 7. The Void. The Shrekening. The Shrekening is a rumored secret kill switch that was implanted into the minds of people who watched Shrek 3. Allegedly, the operator of this kill switch would be able to take control of the people affected by it, turning them into drones to be used for some nefarious purpose. It is unknown who, if anyone, is in control of the kill switch.